Still patiently waiting. Today's theme, patience, cooking brekkie. What? Wrong button. That's not what we wanted to hit. Start a poll. As always, the same as always. Bam. Hope everybody out there in YouTube land's having a good day. We are counting our blessings here today, despite what we think it should be. Well, join us as we make some brekkie and find a way to find appreciation despite what we think it should be. Find some patience despite that being my kryptonite. And some brekkie. We're going to do some bacon. And we don't have much floating around the house. We do have this cinnamon toast pancake cake mix. It's close enough to pancake mix. We're going to make it work. Make some cinnamon toast pancakes, some bakey, and talk about patience. If anybody out there in YouTube land has any quotes or motivational, inspirational things to say that'll help us find some patience. It's been the waiting game for the last couple weeks, and I feel like I'm being tested, but that's okay. We all get tested from time to time. And what do you say, Rob? Patience? Patience! It's a lot easier to be patient when you got a brick of bakey here getting ready to be cooked. So
it's hard to be patient when you are a mental patient.
It is. I mean, at the moment, I'm not being treated either, so that's a whole nother group of shenanigans. But yeah, let's make some bakey, relax, chat a little bit. Let's hope some of our fellow Turtle Herd members join us soon. And we'll go from there. Feel free to subscribe, become a member of the Turtle Herd. Today we're going to make some brekkie. As always, weather the burden together. Slow and steady. We're going to start with some bakey. And, go from there. Hey, Fat Ma. It's good to see you. Welcome in. A little late for brekkie, but I'm definitely feeling it. I hope you're doing all right today, Fat Ma. What's your thoughts on patience there, Fat Ma? You got enough to share? I got absolutely none. I'm gathering some through the tests and tribulations that have found its way into my life lately. But slow and steady, nice and easy. First what, Fat Ma? First brekkie time. We're gonna start out by cooking this bacon. Taking it easy today, finding something or another or whatever, or letting it be exactly what it needs to be. Probably shouldn't have waited so long to cook. I'm kind of hungry, but what are you going to do? Slow and steady. Bakey, some pancakes made out of cake mix. Because what's the difference, right? It's got cake right in the name of it. You just cook it in a pan, it'll be a pancake. Logic seems sound enough. A few more pieces of bakey there. Alrighty, roly, cookies and bakey too. Rob's over there going Go-Go-Tron on his new game he's developing. Pickles. I want bacon. You can have some bacon. We got some extra bacon and pancakes this morning. Maybe some eggs if I feel special enough to get it going for us. One step at a time today. Reflecting on patience. Looking for a little bit of hope and inspiration to help me find that patience. Huh? It's gonna be all right. Sometimes the world moves so fast we can't keep up, and other times it's like all these things are waiting on the horizon and we're just standing on a precipice, and that precipice, can be a painful one, right? But before you know it, we'll be taking the leap. Just first, Kate, it's on the news. What's on the news there, Kate? Maybe we should change this to all messages, make sure we get everybody's input today. Kate, what's on the news? What are we missing by not watching the news today, Kate? Sound just went out. Can't hear us anymore. I don't know about all that. Seems to be working all right. How's that? Yeah, I can hear him. Thank you. I think Mr. M there is just busting on us a little bit. We appreciate you keeping us on our toes here this morning. Send me into a bacon-fueled frenzy, you bastards. Awesome. Well, that's rough and tumble if you're getting a black screen. You don't get to watch the miracle of bacon cooking. Are you?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh wait, no, it's better now.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Alrighty, wrote it. I don't know what did it, but we did it. day.My, it's good to see
I
you.
had to hit like play.
You had to hit play or something? That's weird. Well, hit play out there in YouTube land if you're in a black screen, I guess. I don't know. Patience being the theme of the day. Are you good with it? You got an abundance of it? Do you have absolutely none like me? I'd love to hear your point of view. Are you holding up out there in YouTube land? That's the question here of the day as well. Are you okay? I'm doing all right. Enjoying my time with my brother and my niece. You know, gonna miss parts of what's been going on lately, but I won't miss the waiting game. But I will miss being here with my brother and my niece. I'm sure relatively soon, because we got to get the ball rolling and get headed back when we can. Making big strides though. Made moves. Got rid of the Galactic Avenger yesterday. R6. What's going on, bro? Brekkie time, bro, is what's going on. A little bit of brekkie, a little bit of reflection. Finding some patience through keeping our hands busy. Nice cup of coffee. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Waited a little bit too long to eat, so I'm feeling a little twitchy, but we'll figure it out. Gonna cook up this bakey first. Maybe I should be mixing up this. We're kind of just gonna cob job some pancakes together today with this cake mix because it's what we got. Hopes and dreams is what we got, ladies and gentlemen. Hopes and dreams. Take that cake mix there, throw it in like that. Add a little water, a little oil. And then, yeah. And then voila, we got pancakes. No work today there, boss. Car is gone. So no spark driving today. I ordered the flyers for the painting marketing that we'll be doing once we get back to New York. What time you got work today there, big dog?
I got a meeting in about 20 minutes.
Oh, Rob's got a meeting in 20 minutes. Yep, 11 p.m. Oh, what time is it where you're at, brother? Yeah. I'm not sure if I have too much in me today, but it's all good. We weather the burden together. Slow and steady, nice and easy. Make some bacon. Find some peace and appreciation in this moment, despite what we think should be the normal theme of what we got going on here. But today, we're going to add bakey into the mix. We can complain about that. Some rigged together pancakes, a little bit of bakey. It's going to be a good day. Hopefully some inspiration and motivation from you guys out there in YouTube land. Maybe we can find a little bit here to send back at you. Put this last piece in there. I think we can. Alright, it's going to work out alright. It's going to be alright. LOL, family. I love bacon. Well, welcome in. All the bacon you can handle. Bacon and pancakes this morning. Maybe some eggs if you guys are into it. I used to cook at the Res Diner on the Onondaga Nation. That's where I picked up the nickname McFly. Yeah, they were really kind to the sucking white guy in the kitchen there. It wasn't a bad job. The cooks were great people. Everything comes to its end. Yeah, everything has its time. "12 votes for 58% of people aren't okay." We'll stick around for a little while there. 58% of people that aren't okay. We're going to figure out a way to be okay. If not, at least find a little bit of acceptance in the struggle. Good, bad, or indifferent. This too shall pass and whatnot, right? Once we get some bacon in us, I'm sure it'll all turn around. That'll be the turning point. 6:43 p.m. day.My. It's about noon here. All right. It's about noon. Are you married? No, I am not married, 6. I'm a wandering idiot. Check out the channel, brother. You'll enjoy it. We just got rid of the old camper car, figuring our way back to New York. Spending a little bit more time with my brother and my niece while we have the opportunity. Kind of stuck because we just gave up the old Galactic Avenger yesterday because it broke on us. James, how you doing there, James? Ready for some bacon? We're gonna make some pancakes out of some cake mix. If you take that cake mix, you cook it in a pan. Sounds like pancakes to me. What do you say? Cinnamon toast pancakes? You up for it, James? Very good. Alice, good morning. Richard, it's 16:45. So it's 4:45 there, Richard? Salute right back to you there, good sir. Welcome in for some bacon and some pancakes. We're going to cook the bacon first. Have some patience, get it done right to the best of our ability anyway. And we'll whip together some pancake mix and push forward. Hope everybody out there in YouTube land's doing good today. Hope you're finding patience for the test to come. I just realized something yesterday. I've been struggling with what's going on lately, right? And flowing with the river of life. Why can't it be exactly what I want? Why can't things work out perfectly? Why can't it happen the way they say it's going to happen? Well, I've been asking for patience for a while. I know that patience is the key for me finding some kind of peace. But yet I don't want to go through the struggle of waiting. Very human. But feel free to double tap that screen if you like bacon. If you're not doing okay, stick around for a while. Express yourself. You're in the right place. Slow and steady, we weather the burden together. Take that very seriously. The turtle herd. Richard, double tap the screen to like the live. And free and very much appreciated. Thank you, Richard. It is free and very much appreciated. We appreciate you, Richard. Mixing it up today, doing stuff a little bit differently. Well, I mean, we don't really have an option. We're not, we don't have access to the old camper car anymore. Check out my car, the Galactic Avenger, in the playlist if you guys are interested in seeing how I took the Dodge Avenger and turned it into a camper car. Traveled with it for the last couple of years minimally until we gave it up just the other day due to a broken bushing and bolt on the subframe. But we got a grand total of $275 for her, so stop, James. Stop what? Give us a quote on patience, James. How do we find patience? Running my yapper too much. You're white. You're white, James. It's all right. Ben, are you making a bacon and cheese? No, we're making bacon, and we're going to do pancakes and bacon. Maybe some over easy eggs, too. Maybe something. That's what we're doing. Reflecting on patience. Checking in on all my friends out there in YouTube land. James, it's appreciated to see you today. What did you have for brekkie? Anything good? You like to cook, or does the missus like to cook? How's that work in your household? Patience. I have to see a doctor about it most of the time. I'm with you, brother. No patience at all. Well, this trip, you've been around. It's definitely been a patience gathering expedition, right? It hasn't been anything like we thought it was going to be, but we've accomplished a lot despite that. Think about that stuff. Not exactly where and what we thought we should have going on right now, but what we've done. Got down here to help my brother out. We've helped him as much as we possibly can. Helped my niece move to Atlanta. All beautiful, positive things. Good morning, all. Country, it's good to see you. Welcome in, Jeffrey. There are 2 weeks old in a ditch. Okay. Your patience? Yeah, I feel that way sometimes too there, Richard. How do you ladies and gentlemen like your bacon? Somewhere in between. I like it crispy enough, but not too crispy where it's like crunchy and breaking. Still like a little bit of play to it. No, yes, day.My. One way or the other, I suppose. Now I understand. Enlighten me there, Six. Enlighten me, because I don't. I'm working on it. No kids. I'm actually here with my brother who has a 1-year-old, my niece, and I have another niece who's off in college with the same brother. And got a handful of nieces and nephews from my other sister in New York. Good kids, becoming adults. No kids of my own, though. Pretty good Uncle Scott, though, I think, at times. Oh, okay. Jennifer, how many kids do you have? See if we can't collect that liquid gold for our pancakes. "14 and 6 months old." Yeah, we got the spread going on here. My brother, anyway, does have. He's got the spread 18 and 1. It's a hell of a spread. We're seeing what we can pull together here with some cake mix. I think it's going to be all right. Definitely got a nice little cinnamon smell to it. JK. A little dash of oil too. We're just kind of winging it this morning. We're making pancakes out of cake mix, so. That needs to be a lot thinner than that. Maybe that'll do it. One thing, that cinnamon toast crunch cake mix smells pretty good. Let's see, is that good enough? Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. Love cooking. Awesome, 6. Big fan of cooking myself. We're kind of winging it this morning, but see how it turns out. I think it's going to be all right. That'll be all right. Jennifer, nope, and I won't want him to either. I take care of the inside, he takes care of the outside. Sounds like a pretty good arrangement you got there. Jennifer, pretty good arrangement. You must have some sort of patience there, Jennifer. How do you hold on to that? How do you... Is there any particular advice you can give us? Patience you've gathered raising those 2 amazing children. And all right, well, I think that's what we're going to give a whirl. We're going to find out. bit of that bakey. Just keep your spirit high and don't let the little things get to you. Appreciate that, Jennifer. You are right, Jennifer, yes. And sometimes it helps me to acknowledge that I'm being tested. If I need something in particular, it's going to take a test or a challenge to get it, right? If I need patience, I'm going to have to wait. If I need strength, I'm going to have to climb. If I want compassion, I'm going to have to struggle. If I want pancakes, I'm going to have to pan. Wildflower. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Wildflower sounds like a good thing to be. Fat Ma, you're very much appreciated for that lovely description of who I am. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Jennifer. Let's see. Start off with one. I don't think that was hot enough. Probably should have waited a second. It'll be all right. Don't listen to Fat Ma's full of it. My wife didn't pass away. I didn't have a wife. Maybe you misunderstood. There's been a lot of loved ones who've started their journey in my life, but I've never been married. Oh, it's gonna look like a pancake there, boss. Most of James's girlfriends are married. Well, might be a solid plan, James. You have to. Seems to work out for James. I should have done that one in the center of the pan. Is that an egg? No, it's a pancake made from cinnamon toast crunch cake mix. How are you, Scott? Neuro, I'm holding it together. We're talking about patience today. Finding the patience. That's what we're doing. Let's see. All right, it looks like a pretty decent pancake there. That's just the tester to make sure that the pancake mix was mixed enough and that this half-baked shenanigan BS is going to work. Pancakes. How are you doing today, Nero? You holding up? Nero? I surely hope so, good sir. Holding together. Giving thanks for what we do have in this moment. Spending time with a good human being, some family, right? Got my niece, my brother. I'm in a good place this morning, right? Might not be exactly what I expected today to be, but it's all right. US 32, yo, what's up? 32. Pancakes is what's up this morning, good sir. Pancakes and bakey. Well, looks like that's going to cook pretty good. Let's put this off to the side there. We're cooking in bacon grease too, so you know we got to do it right. cinnamon toast crunch cake mix for our pancake batter, and bacon grease is our cooker. I'm a little bit kind of shot today, but it's all right, man. It's all right. Not sure what to say. It's one of the things I'm going to work on. I don't need to say the thing all the time. I need to run my yapper. This guy, give me a Lou. Okay. Fraz, we're doing all right today. Raz, how you holding up? How are you holding up? Feel free to let us know. We are dealing with the test of the day, which is patience. The car coming back to us has been put off a bit. That one's almost done. I have to cook it a little bit more. They cook these a little bit lower, I think, because of what they are. But JK's birthday is in a few days. That's awesome. Just razzing my dazzle, my G. Awesome, Fraz. Razz a little dazzle for me too there, good sir. We're baking some cakins. Some pancakins there, good sir. Hey, Crunch, what's up? Can speak what now? I think I might need some glasses there, big dog. I think I might need some glasses. Let's test this first one out. Well, it seems to be cooked solid. A little bit more bacon. Grease from my rodeo. James, my grandson. I can't read that, Fat Ma. As always, we appreciate you expressing yourself, but can't read it. Do America, we do. Fraz, John 3:16. Russell, please refresh our memory if you feel like doing so. We appreciate a God of your understanding there, Russell. Raz, what is it? Was it Russell? Hopefully some lesson on patience today to help us get through slow and steady. As we make actual pancakes, cake in a pan. Jennifer, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Thank you, Jennifer, for your expression of the God of your understanding. Very much appreciated. Anybody else out there got some quotes? Help us keep connected. Help us understand our connection in place here. Feel free to express yourself. I'm going to take it easy today. Slow myself down. Spend too much time filling the air, worrying about the next thing to say. That can be great sometimes, but taking it easy on myself today. Sounds a little bit better. Am I those pancakes? I might be. I might be.
Hey, what's going on, Chris?
Hey, Rob. I got Jonathan with me again. Hi, Rob.
Hey, what's going on, Jonathan?
How are you?
All doing well, another day in paradise.
Is that what you call, what was the town again? Not Merrill, that's Indiana.
Well, I'm in Tunnel Hill right now, but yeah, heading here.
Also known as Paradise there. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful sunsets.
Is that Scott back there?
Oh, yeah, he's here.
Yeah, I'm here, brother. How you doing, Chris?
Yeah, it's going well, my friend. Appreciate the introductions. I really, looking forward to getting to know Rob and see if we can work together. I'm pretty confident we can.
Yeah.
So chime in if you got any input, but, welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Just curious, Rob, do you have access to a screen if we were to do some screen sharing and show you some of the back end of our phone system just for familiarity and response?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, before we get distracted with that, because I have a tendency to get easily distracted, let's just run down a couple of things that Jonathan, I, and our intern, Max, have been working on. And we're kind of getting to the edge or end of our limits, and this is one reason why I'm looking towards developers and some people like yourself. A lot of it just started off as conceptuals months ago, and I think that may have been about
I
the time
can
you and I
hear
first
you.
spoke.
Can use
Yeah.
breakfast. Thank you. You're welcome,
Very
brother.
conceptual.
Most
And Max has been
be
here
nice,
as an
Scott.
intern
It
for
is nice. Thank you for the perspective, Tank. Oh, I'm sorry, brother. Rob's on a meeting at the moment. Sort of keep our mouth shut here a little bit. Well, he went into the back room anyhow, so. Doc, what's up, man? He is trying to focus Omar. Welcome in, Omar. Country food is looking good. Thank you. Thank you. I like to cook. I like to cook for other people. You know, it's nice to have someone to cook for. All right? Give thanks for what we do have in this moment. Damn straight, Doc.
Subdomain of our website. And have you been to our website?
I don't believe so.
Okay, well, don't get distracted. It ain't great, but we're going to skim past to cloud10os.com and go to slash cloud10os.com/lists for sale, the number 4. And I'll tell you the story as you go to that, how this came about quite randomly. I was going doing some surveillance or network and surveillance installation at a friend's customer's office where he has a warehouse he's trying to put cameras in, and I walked in and then he's got 20 or 30 pallet jacks and warehouse listed. And
OS, Cloud 10. Well, I'm having trouble.
Cloud10OS.com. That'll be our main page.
OS.com.
Don't get diverted by that.
Okay. All right. I'm seeing it now.
And then slash, yeah, there. That's our office website. And then slash lives for sale. Again, this is something we just kind of threw up. So just a short story how this came about. He said his website, if I could sell them, he'd give me a percentage. I'm like, okay, well, that sounds fair. And I had just started down this AI class where they were doing websites. That can't be too tricky. So I went to, I believe that was Gemini. I said, build me a website. I've got 30 things to sell. And it whipped that out in about 3 minutes or less. Of course, it had no content. And then I said, I was like, I'm shocked. I said to my friend, give me a list of the inventory of what you've got and any pictures. And so he sent me another spreadsheet with that on it. And I plugged it in and I said, add these pictures. And it did it basically. And I haven't done nothing beyond that. In fact, if you scroll to the bottom of it, you'll notice the email and contact are pretty generic and incorrect.
So I typed in slash lists for sale, and I didn't get anything else. It says this page doesn't exist.
Number 4.
Lists for sale. Okay, that'll do it. Let's try that. There we go. All right, now we're looking at the right page. Yeah, so when it comes to like, kicking out pages, especially like UI, a lot of times with Copilot, and I'm sure Gemini's the same way, although I've been using Claude and GPT-5 for my large language model brain, it can kick out UI. And if you handed a common, modern CSS framework, say like Tailwind, and you say, hey, utilize Tailwind for a modern UI experience, then it's going to go through and revamp. And I actually have a little bit of recent experience with this because we've gone through, I think, 4 different complete UI revamps for my data security, and we keep coming back to that, keep coming back to it, and that's exactly what I did was introduce Tailwind, which is just sort of a standard styling. All the buttons are styled a certain way, all the drop-down lists, orders, cards, all the kind of different Lego blocks you would use in a project. It's already got pre-canned, standardized styles. Your pages look the same page to page. And I got with Copilot and hooked it towards my repository and said, hey, restyle this whole thing using Tailwind. It definitely was a bit longer than just a few prompts back and forth because we have a pretty big project. But I would say about 70% of the work we did one shot. And I was like, oh, okay, and then kind of went back through and I was like, then kind of spearheaded specific UI changes that I wanted from there. So yeah, when it comes to generating code for visual stuff, it does pretty good. A couple caveats to that. It at times pays no mind to security at all. It's like, well, the thing does the thing, and I'm like, yeah, but it's also like exactly what a hacker would love to see your front end look like, So I have found it doesn't think so much about security. It tends to not think about scalability. So yeah, this works when we have 3 users, but what about 30,000? And at times it just makes some odd decisions. For instance,
Thank you, Omar.
With Copilot, if that's the model we end up using, or the tool we end up using, I had a decent amount of work kind of queued up that I had been working for a while and had not maybe saved as often as I should have. And I was right at the end of doing maybe about an hour or 2 hours worth of work, and I asked Copilot to just, I think, center some buttons. The buttons were kind of non-standard and they were placed in kind of haphazard way. And I was like, hey, let's pull all these buttons into like a dual strip and let's get them at the bottom of the page and give them a standard sizing and spacing. And I think that was the entire prompt. And it starts going for maybe about 20 minutes. And I'm like, man, what is this thing thinking about? And I look and it has started like deleting whole files and changing completely different pages and stuff. You know, so as cool as these tools are, I find usually it is a one shot deal. I think it's cool that you actually got it deployed, you know, so I'm at a website, I'm able to type this for sale and see it deployed. That's another kind of disconnect with a lot of these models. They usually, won't deploy it for you, won't secure
Yeah,
it.
well, if I were to elaborate a little further on that story, it did not deploy it, and it's still not very great. I wish the lids were at the top and the batteries are at the bottom, but reordering things and making it look for a sort. But I did find a local developer who does sites, and I told him my story, and so I actually hired him to take. He downloaded the JSON from ChatGPT, and he deployed it with some credentials into my domain and subdomain. So yeah, no, it didn't do it itself, but that's how I wound up with what you see, and again, with very little effort. And I only went to Gemini. I'm not quite sure why I went to Gemini. I have 5 other ones. I might have deployed that, but I thought first maybe it's a talk or something. I just typed in there. That's pretty okay.
Gemini's good.
It's very structured.
Yeah, Gemini's good. It's up. If there's a leaderboard, I can show you when I'm not diverting our meeting, and it racks them. They do kind of a blind test where they'll just throw coding problems at it, and people can try to complete it. And at the end, they rank how easy their experience was, but they don't get to see that they're drinking Pepsi or Coke, and then at the end they kind of rank that. And Gemini was just like steadily in the top 5. So yeah, that's not a problem.
So let me again continue with that story because it gets crazier or crazier. Again, I just saw these lists in the guy's warehouse, so the task was kind of handed to me. I thought I could use AI to facilitate it, so I'm a couple $100 into it, and I've got that far. But then I go back to the guy as I'm trying to get details for that email and phone contact. I said, Ron, who do you want to be the contact for this stuff when you have people of interest? He said, well, you're getting commission through the contact. And I'm like, what?
So I'm doing customer service for you now too. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah. So the next brainstorm, that resulted in me going, okay, I can do this. And I went and created a voice bot, gave him the skill set, the inventory, and some manufacturing links. And now we've created a voice bot to be the expert and create the cold call, more referrals, I guess. Get a date and come look at them, or our version of Polly. Polly that you made.
yeah.
So far that's been a bit of a struggle, but that was my solution to me being the sales guy. And then I would just crank out an email to one person who I found that they hired when they bought all the lifts. They bought the guy who serviced all the lifts too. He now works for Ron, and so I just would send them off to this particular person for more detailed questions or scheduling. I want to see it. Can I take it for a test drive? So.
Yeah. Well, that's
So
cool.
that's I'm saying that, yeah, and I've kind of followed our lab and has evolved from what was I thought pretty simple to something a little more interesting, but has a little nuance and speciality to it. But it's helping us learn some tools. So that's project 1. Let's call that project 1. This for sale.
So yeah, I'm not 100% sure how you're handling your AI side of it, but from any site, from any web application, from any ecosystem, we can make a call to an LLM that's got the data it needs, and then it'll talk back and forth just like a chat GPT, and we can pipe that into any UI, make it look like a chat, and make it look like whatever. And it sounds like you guys may have already started to do that, but depending on what kind of technology we're using, we may take different approaches. But with a chat GPT 5 subscription, I mean, it's just a simple API call and piping in a response.
They have voice bots in ChatGPT 5.
So yeah, they have I think it's 8 premium voices for their whatever higher business subscriptions, and then from there you're charged for your token usage, but the latest numbers are out, and ChatGPT 5 beats everybody by a mile when it comes to the price of the token. They're priced in some cases like 20% next to their competitors for what it costs for those API requests. And so I not only think you can gain access potentially to a better model, so at least that's what they're saying. Of course, they would say that they're trying to sell it to us, but supposedly the numbers look right, that it's a better model, and the prices certainly don't look wrong. In comparison to Gemini, I think it was like one-fifth the cost of Gemini for the same types of processes, but we can do some cost comparison there and get that number to some kind of exact. It's a little different, like it's not a prompt to cost ratio because it's based on how much the prompt makes the model think, essentially. So you could pass it a short prompt, but that requires a considerable amount of research, and your actual tokens use a little bit more number, but down to the token cost, it looks like they are beating the competition just on price to performance.
We actually have been using Lemon Labs, which is LLM, I think, for the generation of these on this Play project too, as well. And I'd be interested to see how Gemini or GPT-5 does it with my experience at that point. And with voice agents has been through Lemon Labs and also Play One.
So 11 Labs is great, definitely, but I believe they should just be handling your NLP or natural language processing, not necessarily the word generation. But it may be doing both. It may, and who knows what LLM they're using if they're handling both. But I believe GPT-5 API call can not only generate the wording, but then would pass that to their natural language processing model that would also generate the audio, and then would return that in a payload that we could present in whatever fashion makes sense.
Yeah, it'd be interesting doing some comparison, but let me explain a little bit of my 11 Labs experience, and that might
Yeah.
why we're there. First of all, it's one of the first ones I heard regarding voice, and one of the things I've done dozens, possibly hundreds of is voiceovers for auto attendants and thank yous, and some on hold scripts and stuff like that. So the first thing I did was go make myself a model of my own voice. Try to eliminate that noise of typing or pasting, and I could just throw my voice behind a music bed and save myself the getting in front of a microphone, those mistakes, and editing.
Oh yeah.
So I do have a voice model, which I'll refer to at the end of that.
Set one aside for you, Tank.
But there's also in the 11 Labs, and I don't want to get too converted with the screen share, but there are, in the agent build, there are places that you can knowledge, referral information, URLs, company documents. So all the context can be right there. In fact, that'll jump us to project number 2, which I'll mention. And do my best to describe, and I can give you a test number to play with this later.
Yeah.
But this is kind of a bigger focus, and I'm going to call this one, call it our Fair Deli right now, for lack of a better name. But what it does, and I built this to solve a problem that a customer may not even know they have. We have a deli down here, which is called Fair Deli, that does a booming business, and their signature sandwich is the awesome Reuben. And everybody goes there for lunch. I called down there. Actually, we did an order probably half an hour early. I walked down and wound up standing there with 15 other people. Well, one guy answered the phone, made the deli, and cash out.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I took their website, their menu, and created a server to take orders. And it's working pretty well. We use, again, 11 Labs. I gave her the description. I pasted the menu there, the URL, told them the hours of operation. In fact, I called it, demonstrated it this morning, and I asked if they had specials. And she said we do the sandwich of the month. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. And then when I asked for the contact, she didn't know it. But she was able to describe sandwiches, take my order, give me a total, grab my name and number, and then we have all that going into a Google Sheet. So they use 11 Labs as the interface, and Google Sheets as the station. Anywhere in the world will upload that sheet information to the API to their point of sale. Obviously, and it just generates an order. It might be not quite there yet, but it's certainly, if someone were sitting there looking at Google Sheets, they could take orders sometimes and enter them with a touch screen and just have one person not answer phones, just look at orders. And then we also set a second task for that to call back and say order's ready, but first things first, it can do both. If it takes that information, you should be able to call back and say your order's ready or something. Or SMS might be another way to do that. So that's our second project that's really in development, but not been deployed.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's super cool. So the integration side of it with the point of sale system would of course depend on the point of sale system, so if that piece of software has a like order entry endpoint that we can target with some data that would be like, hey, slap another order in the system. If it does not, then it's going to make it somewhat difficult to integrate with an existing point of sale system. We can also build a companion point of sale system that would integrate with it and potentially replace their entire point of sale system and ordering system in one go. But yeah, I mean, to integrate to where our system can actually shove orders into their system, we just need a handshake there of some kind. Most of the time that would be done with some sort of like RESTful endpoint or service that's kind of like a URL with some parameters sitting there saying, hey, it does nothing until it gets a request, and then assuming it's got the information it needs to fulfill the request, it takes some action. In our case, that would be an endpoint that would receive order information, assuming the payload is passed in the correct format and has the data it would expect. It would then consume that and process an order into the existing system. The other way, say we can't talk to the point of sale system directly, if we can talk to the database, then we can have just a little companion app that kind of sits on their desktop. It has the RESTful endpoint or the ability for us to talk to it, throw something in the queue, and then it processes that order payload. It directly writes a row to a database that their point of sale system is looking at. So it then reads from the database and says, oh, we got the order. Yeah, I mean, the only like pitfall or the complication to that working out the way you want is just the integration part. It sounds like the 11 Labs. Yeah.
And the order. Yeah. I understand that is probably, and again, I'd like to sell it as is, and then if they want to upscale it to the next level to integrate their point of sale, there's a little more development and an additional cost, so maybe a per order cost even, so that they want to use it. You make more because
Yeah.
entering from position to multiples, and you can only turn it on for 2 hours of the day, from 11 to 1. We have this set up, you just take orders and take care of customers. You just bring them or
Well, I think that's a great way to get your foot in the door, because then you can handle potentially their credit card processing. If you're running the point of sale, and then you just add, say, like a processing fee for the software itself that's based on whatever you're processing, the order, the sandwich order in this case, and then you can give them the software. It says, look, we'll give this to you. It'll be running. It's everything we need. It takes orders, and yeah, we hook it up, and it's free. Quote unquote free. It's a set up that day, but now every order that processes through that restaurant or business, you get a piece of the action forever. Assuming they continue to use that software or some combination of the pricing models. But yeah, that's what I do with Something Heady. I built their site essentially for free, and now I get a 7% processing fee anytime something sells through that. And it allowed them to get a website up and running, and allowed me to get a revenue stream.
Did you say Something Heavy? Is that another customer of yours or website?
Something Heady. They're a concert company. They're throwing like, not really so into the music. They do a lot of like, I guess, electronic dubstep type music and stuff. But yeah, they're doing their Between Worlds festival that's coming out in September, and they're pretty sizable tickets. And I think that processing fee nets me about $10 a ticket on their big festival. So I'm hoping they sell a lot of them. But yeah, pricing that, they've spent like 40 grand trying to throw this festival, and they did not have the money to pay me what they needed to get a website. So we negotiated this fee model that allowed them to get a website today, but then kind of staked me as sort of a business partner. And we negotiated that percentage and landed on something that we could both live with. And so anyway, I found that to be a pretty effective model. Yeah, it's free today, and we get you set up, and now you're kind of get this residual income for the future.
Don't worry, they'll definitely do that. I've the whole pricing model, but moving to the next project, I'm going to change gears one more time. I want to respect your time. I think baby there.
She's napping. She's napping. Yeah.
Okay. So this other next project is a cold call maker. Cold call maker. Let me explain what I'm hoping to accomplish with this, or the inspiration for it, maybe a better way to put it. I drive to my office every day, and I drive by 15, 20 businesses. I'm thinking, I should stop in there and introduce myself and say hello. That place probably could use an owner. I know they need, what have you. I thought I could get a AI agent or a program that, given an address range, in this case I'll just use our street as the example, State Fair Boulevard. I can have it, that criteria go pull just businesses with State Fair Boulevard, New York addresses. Let's go, I'll use Google. Go get their websites, URLs. Looking at their website, give me a summary of what they do and a phone number to call. That would be step one of the execution. And then step two would be make the call using Chris's model voice, 11 Labs, with a small script introducing myself as downstream technology. We do these four things. Notice your area can be of any help. It is there to have a generative conversation that way. And then step three would take us to that conversation, whether it be a hang up or yourself with surveillance or whatever it might be. Take that and hand that to a live salesperson, but now they're dealing with warm
Information.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Versus cold calling everybody, which is what I think I'm going to do as I drive by. I should call there. I should stop there. I've got the time of the day. And because I'm local, it might have a little more nuance. And because we have a bit of a broader offering it now, I would at some point disclose that this has been an AI demonstration of how agent privacy uses. Anyway, obviously, exceptional. We do have the scraper component. In fact, today we're going to work on the 11 Labs piece to make the calls and do some testing. But what's your take on some of that as I describe it?
So I love it. It's a great idea. Yeah, very, very practical, and is an example of trying to leverage AI in a way that helps tee you up to do things that actually, an owner of a business should be doing instead of every little tiny thing, we have to learn to delegate. So yeah, I think it's a great idea. I would kind of do it two-phase, and you guys may already be doing it with your scraper, but I would have the scraper, that's its own job. It's I pass it locations that I want businesses. It takes that information, does some research, gives me all the data, and then right away it stores it to a database. And that's its only job.
Yeah, in this case, it's just the machine. I agree that I think I understand where you're going, and because we have to put the pieces together, it's kind of an obvious destination. Actually, data's in that spreadsheet, data's working on testing things.
So Copilot is great at kicking out Supabase tables. I'm not sure if you've messed with Supabase much, but it's a very modern cloud persistence database. And so if your app that you're building tends to be very data driven, I just want to show a list of customers, and I drill into that customer, I want to see the list of orders, and drill into the order, I want to see the price. It's all pages that are kind of centered around the data, and that's kind of what drives it. But assuming that data doesn't get so complex, millions of rows, tons of tables, and all the crazy stuff that databases can do, then for prototyping, Supabase is perfect. If the Copilot can link right to it and just kick out the script. They'll give you scripts that you have to run. So when you run those scripts, it generates the schema, you can see the data, and the relationships, the product data. So it's obnoxious when I get mere minutes. And then now you have a deployed cloud database. So whenever you take that out and you take it on somebody else's machine, or you deploy it somewhere, and you're just testing it locally, quote unquote, it's still in cloud-based database. So you can just prove out early on that you're connecting to a real database. If I have developers working on it, they can all have that same database. They can spin up a fresh database locally or anything like that. But yeah, once you have your scrape, we want every service in a perfect world to have a single responsibility. It's kind of more all our spaces that's its own keep it really you guys may already have seen that set up. It sounds like you're using a Google Docs sheet, which is perfectly fine for the typing and stuff. But yeah, I can go through and have some sort of like a super base if it's going to be something simple, or potentially our own server.
Yeah, again, this is the intention of the way we simply model
either way, but 5 years from now, you wish they would be very tiny you're not crawling through everything. I say I know exactly where that is because the thing that does that only does what and so it's just a little more maintainable and easier to scale. This ends up being something that millions of people use one day. Then we need to do something where you can have multiple instances of these services spun up so they can load balance. And having them modular like this kind of keys us up that sort of scale.
Pretty much a small my largest customer. I've got two that I have classified as my largest customer. One is 40 sites in 4 states.
Okay.
And I'd like to talk about that. This is another great job line, but I must bring it up. But the other one is specifically the second year because this is really the crux of my industry. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but the turtle that it faced immediately. Syracuse Housing was our largest client here. They had 14 buildings, 130 people. And they do our Section 8 housing up here in Syracuse.
Okay.
A lot of residents, but then what we do is strictly administrative. In all the different like security people, like accounting people, a lot of counselors, people that are taking clients in and clients out. They, I'll try and keep this story short. They have conventions for housing authorities annually, and whoever went this year to wherever it was came back having seen AI answering the housing authority residents' calls, Section 8 calls. And next thing you know, I'm getting a message, hey, we're looking at this AI auto attendant that we saw at the show. And I think the name of it just occurred to me. It's called Responded IO or Responded AI. Responded.
Okay.
Anyway, I sat in on their demo as a viewer. There was probably about 12 people in Syracuse Housing, and I was being included as their phone vendor. And saw this thing in action. It's quite impressive. And I went to our provider and just kind of connected onto your Wildix. If you see Wildix on our website or anywhere, that is our phone platform. So I went to the Wildix developers and I said, hey, I'm in trouble here. My largest customer is looking at this. I sent them a video. I took a video of the demo. Maybe I can send it to you at some point.
Yeah.
It's about 30 or 40 minutes. The demo starts, but 30 minutes in, as you might imagine. And they said, oh, we can do that. Not that we left. I'm like, oh, okay. So next thing I know, Wildix is showing me their back end, and they've got voice bot integrations built on it. And so now I go back to Syracuse Housing, and I'm saying, hey, we can do all that, and you've got it sitting in your lap. We just need to turn it on and customize it.
Well, that's brekkie, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get in there and enjoy my breakfast. I don't know why I can't see any comments or anything. But, yeah, how do I even end this now? We're frozen up here. Time for me to go eat. Let's try to disconnect this. I don't know what I'm doing.